This is the Shure MV7 Plus, a new microphone from Shure that takes everything from the popular MV7 microphone you've probably seen everywhere, improves on it by putting USB-C, better hardware, and audio quality internally, and there's a bunch of software features that come in the app to remove background noise, focus on your voice, auto gain and leveling, and more. It might look a lot like the older MV7, but it is vastly improved, and if you're in the market for an intermediate or just good studio quality USB microphone, the MV7 Plus is probably the one to get. I have one small quibble, but we'll get to that in a second. Side by side, you'll notice that the MV7 Plus, which is here on the right, looks very similar, especially the body style to the left. Same mounting mechanism, which is great for flexibility, moving it around. But you'll see it actually comes with a longer pop filter, which is actually going to help with those P's and B's in your recordings. If we take the windscreens off, we can see the capsules inside are actually still pretty similar in size, but that longer windscreen is going to help reduce some of those pops. If you wanted to, you could put your old windscreen on the new MV7 Plus, especially if you had a stylish Riverside pop filter, because there's also software that's going to reduce those pops as well. On the back of the microphone, one of my biggest issues with the older MV7 was it was still using micro USB, one of the few devices I still needed to carry one of those cables around for. But the new MV7 Plus thankfully has switched to USB-C. You have the headphone jack still here on the bottom, and there is also an XLR connection, so you can use this as a USB microphone with your iPad or your computer. And if you upgrade your setup, maybe with an audio interface, you can use this as an XLR microphone as well. And to get right to a side-by-side audio test, here's the new Shure MV7 Plus. This is what it sounds like. I'm not using any of the audio effects and filters. I'll show you those in a moment, but let's compare this to the Shure MV7. Here's the Shure MV7. Again, no post-processing. I haven't EQ'd or compressed either the audio from this or the MV7 Plus, just adjusted the volume to make sure it's the same. But let's jump into the audio settings because there's a new app you can get from Shure which gives you even more powerful features over this mic. This is the Shure Motive Mix application. You can download it for free directly from Shure, and if you have the MV7 and MV7 Plus connected to your computer, you can click over to device settings. If I jump into the Shure MV7, the original, there is an auto leveling option. You can choose how close the microphone is to your mouth, either near or far, and there were still tone options like dark, bright, or natural. And the original MV7 had these LED lights on the top, and you could adjust whether you want the live metering to show the actual volume of when you're speaking, and you can also enable night mode, which reduced the brightness. But when compared to the Shure MV7, you get a lot more options. When it comes to gain, you can leave the auto level set here, but I prefer to manually set the gain. This way I know it's just the same consistent every time. You can add a compressor here automatically to the microphone, and a limiter just to make sure you're not going to peak or overdrive. There's also monitor settings, so when you plug a pair of wired headphones into the mic, you can choose how loud the microphone is compared to the PC. This is really helpful when using with Riverside if you need to adjust those volume levels. You have more granular control over the tone, either going to dark or bright. You can actually add reverb to the mic right here. I prefer to add those in post, so I turn it all the way down. And these are some of the software features like the real-time denoiser. If you might have some background noise in your environment, you can enable that. And the popper stopper. I'm going to do a little rhyme here so you can hear the difference. This is with the popper stopper turned off. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. And if I turn the popper stopper on, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. You'll see it reduces some of the percussiveness of those P's and B's, which if that's an issue, you're hearing a lot of that in your recording, this is a great toggle that you can enable here in the Motive Mix application. There's also a high pass filter you can enable here in the software, and this last option actually gives you control over the LED strip on the top of the microphone. You can see here the difference. The original MV7 had these LED lights and a lot of iconography along the top. It was a little busy, to be honest, so the new Shure MV7 Plus just has this single bar LED. Here in the settings, you can actually choose the brightness, so you can go medium, high, or max brightness. You see it got brighter there as I was selecting it. You can also choose whether or not you want it to be live. This way it will actually pulse with your voice as you speak. Might be fun if you're streaming. Or you can just have it pulse slowly back and forth as you record. Now most often, if you don't want it to be distracting, you'll probably leave it solid, and you can set the dimness all the way to low, but you can't turn it off when it's in USB mode. And that is my one quibble with this microphone. I wish you could completely turn off this LED strip when you have it connected with USB. If you use an XLR connection, the LED strip will be disabled and you won't see it at all. So that's a workaround. But most people getting this probably want to use it as a USB microphone, and there's no way to turn that LED off completely. You can set the brightness all the way to low, and you can choose a custom color down here. You can make it match your brand, which is nice. Maybe make it a really dark color, like almost black. And if you do that, it almost appears to be off, but you can still see it's on a little bit. Now, one of the cool features of that LED strip, if you tap this LED strip while you're recording, it actually acts as a mute button. That is a really cool feature, and it turns red to show you that you're muted. It will also start pulsing just to alert you that you're not being recorded right now. Tap it again and you can unmute yourself. That is pretty cool. And I also understand why that LED strip is staying on, because if you are muted, you need to be able to see that. Again, this only works if you're using it in USB mode. If you have it connected via XLR, you'll need to use a physical mute switch or mute on your audio interface. All that being said, it also is kind of cool to put like a Riverside purple on that LED strip and just turn down the brightness. And now with the MV7 Plus using a USB-C connection, it makes it even easier to connect to your laptop or desktop and an iPad, which is really helpful. You can actually connect this microphone directly to an iPad that has a USB-C connection, use the Riverside app, plug in a pair of wired headphones directly to the microphone, and you're off recording. And of course, this microphone works great when you're recording with Riverside on a desktop or laptop. Here I've logged into my Riverside account, and I'll go to one of my Riverside studios. Here under microphone and speaker, I'm going to choose the Shure MV7 Plus right here, and you want to select it as both the microphone as speaker, and then plug a pair of those wired headphones into the bottom. This way you can monitor your own voice and hear your remote guests at the same time. I know it can be awkward if you're just starting out to hear your own voice in your headphones, but that will make sure that you're keeping a good distance from the microphone, that there's nothing weird in the audio, and overall it's going to make for a better recording. I'll select I'm using headphones here, and I'll join my Riverside studio. And now I'm recording here in my Riverside studio with the Shure MV7 Plus microphone. It's my microphone and headphone output. And overall, I just highly recommend the Shure MV7 Plus if you're in the market for a USB microphone or you want to add something that's versatile so you can use it as XLR or USB. You can get the MV7 Plus directly from Shure or on Amazon. We'll put links down in the video description. And it comes in two colors. You can get it in black or white. It's $280 right now, which again, for the sound of this microphone, again, it's a dynamic microphone, improved internals. The software features you get for free are pretty incredible. This is a great value. If you're just starting out and you have the budget for it, or you want to upgrade the USB mic you're currently using, the MV7 Plus I think is pretty much an ideal choice when it comes to USB microphone. I used the older MV7 whenever I traveled and I had to record in hotel rooms, and now I am 100% going to be bringing the MV7 Plus with me anywhere I go. If you have any questions about the Shure MV7 Plus, drop comments below this video. I answer all of those personally. And don't forget to subscribe to the Riverside channel. We have a ton of videos about gear reviews, how to use that gear with Riverside or do hybrid recording, things like the Rodecaster Duo or Pro 2. And we have an entire video on the best USB microphones. I'm gonna have to update that because I think the MV7 Plus is gonna be on the top of that list, but I'll put links to those videos down in the description. If you want to learn more about upgrading your setup, not just microphones, but also cameras and lighting, I'll put a video on that right up here. It covers all budget levels. And if you want to learn more about using Riverside to record high quality video and audio content and the incredible tools we have there like Magic Audio, Set Pace, and more, I'll put a video about that right up here. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next video.